So this video isn't as long or edit heavy as my more recent stuff has been, but I really want to get this out there. It's been in the back of my mind for a few years now, and I think I can finally turn these thoughts into words. Simply put, I'm kinda not a Nintendo fan anymore. And I know what some of you will say, but Evan, you still love Pokemon. Pokemon is a Nintendo franchise, kinda, sorta, semi-quasi. You still own Nintendo consoles and games and memorabilia. Doesn't that still make you a fan? Absolutely, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm not much of a modern Nintendo fan. I don't get anywhere near as excited about Nintendo games as I used to. Alright everyone, gather around, cause it's story time. Ever since I started getting out of high school, my last 2 years of high school, my thoughts on Nintendo, and well, games in general, changed drastically. As a kid, I was very much a Nintendo fanboy, a Nintendrone, if you will. I thought that they were the only company that was truly, consumer-friendly, and that every other company, like Microsoft, Sony, EA, Ubisoft, paled in comparison to the Big N. But as I was sort of branching out into other series and started talking to other people online, I started noticing the cracks in Nintendo's armor. As I grew up, my tastes changed. For me, it started really happening when the Wii era sort of drew to a close. That's when I started to really play other games. Games that Kid Evan would never dream of touching. Obviously, I just got into other things, everyone does. In a way, I guess I'm thankful for the friends I've made that introduced me to other things, whether it was intentional or not. The Wii U era in particular was when I noticed Nintendo just putting out some real stinkers. Even I knew and could admit that the Wii U was a bomb, and boy, it was not getting any better from there. To give a broad example, when I was a young bab, a Wii homunculus, I was super interested in every Mario or Pokemon game that came out. But when the Wii U and 3DS hit, I found myself just getting less and less excited for a lot of the games that they announced. Is it nostalgia talking? I mean, I won't deny it, but I definitely feel like there was a certain charm that was lost with Nintendo at the turn of the 2010s. By 2015 in specific, there were so few Nintendo games that I gave half of a shit about. In 2016, man, that was a year. Thankfully, when the Switch came out, it was a complete 180 from the Wii U. In that year alone, they released Zelda Breath of the Wild, and then ARMS, and then Splatoon 2, and then Mario Odyssey. It was they were constantly putting out some bangers, damn, okay. Nintendo was on fire. But then that fire petered out. I will warn you, a lot of this gets into very tinfoil hat level territory, but I think the change in presidency in Nintendo and the massive success of the Switch has led the company to becoming complacent with pumping out some half-assed games. For the most part. Not all of them. Yeah, games like main series Mario or Zelda or Fire Emblem or Kirby are still treated like big AAA games, but everything else just feels either unfinished or half-hearted. Remember the whole Animal Crossing New Horizons fiasco? We have free updates, we have content for at least the next 3 years for this game, and most of the updates are underwhelming. Oh, by the way, October, November 2021, that's our last big update. We're not really adding anything more to this game. Bye! And even Mario spin-offs don't have that same level of charm that they used to. I certainly don't blame the devs. I don't blame Camelot or Next Level Games. I am 99.2% positive that it's the higher-ups making these decisions. Alright, listen team, we need this game out for this release date. It's not done! Oh well, just promise free updates post-launch, that'll fix everything. When it first happened for games like Kirby Star Allies or Mario Tennis Aces, I was certainly surprised, but I was still willing to give these games a chance. And I wasn't sold on them. Even their core gameplay left a bit to be desired, and now the extra content is being drip-fed to us? I know it's not as simple as it should all be on the cartridge day one, but some of these games end up having even less content at launch than their predecessors. Listen, all I'm trying to say is that if a game from 10 to 20 years ago has more content than your game does today at launch, that's kinda sad. And of course, knowing Nintendo, it didn't get any better. Mario Maker 2 wasn't as bad, but it was definitely missing some core stuff. Wait, hold on. You're telling me that your 2019 game with online functionality doesn't allow you to play with friends at launch? A level creator game, with one of the big selling points being share your levels online, doesn't let you play with friends at launch? For what reason? Come on, what? Whack. Mario Golf Super Rush. lack of modes at launch, changes to the gameplay that, at least to me, definitely hindered the experience, a massive, weird difficulty spike in the story in the second area, and the content rollout wasn't even that long. Like, at least Tennis Aces had support and updates for, like, what, a year? Super Rush? Oh yeah, this October update is our last one. Have fun. That game only lasted 4 months, man. That's not fair. And of course, 2022 has been kind of atrocious. Nintendo Switch Sports releases with 6 sports. Alright, not too bad. But 3 of them are like really similar to each other, and what do you know? Golf is being released as a free update later on. When is later on? Who knows? And the leg strap they sell with the physical release can only be used in a mini game at launch. And full support for it won't come until sometime this summer? I don't know, how do you fumble the bag this fucking hard? It is goddamn Wii Sports! Mario Strikers Battle League was the absolute breaking point, the point of no return for me. It really showed me that, at least for the time being, this is the future for a lot of Nintendo games. As of this recording, there have been no talks of when the first update is coming out, and I'm pretty sure people have already moved on from Battle League for the most part. It also kinda especially hurts for me because the first 2 Strikers games, some of my favorite Mario games in general, I love them so much. And honestly, I'm kinda done. I don't really buy Nintendo games like I used to anymore. Like, the most I'll get will be the newest Pokemon, but anything other than that, I just don't care as much anymore, if at all. Especially considering they're only $60 and never go on sale. Let's be real here. Most of these games ain't worth $60. And the whole free update model is honestly just scratching the surface about why I don't like Nintendo anymore. Their online is still dookie, their legacy game streaming service leaves a lot to be desired, like Virtual Console died for this? By this point in the game, the Switch is laughably underpowered. There are also all these weird restrictions that some of their consoles have, like, why can't cloud saves support Splatoon 2 and Pokemon games? Like, oh, we do it to prevent cheating, but then people circumvent that in no time flat, so what's the point? And of course, this wouldn't be an anti-Nintendo video without mentioning Nintendo versus fan creators. Hey, psst, Nintendo, come here. Yeah, come here. You know, people wouldn't be so upset over you removing your music from YouTube if you made that music available to purchase or stream. But you don't do that now, do ya? And like, going after fan covers is especially petty. Like, Nintendo, let's be real here. Are you really that upset that somebody uploaded a Mario 64 guide from 1996 that was never released outside of Japan? Or that people use modded versions of Smash Bros. Melee at tournaments? Like, you are not making any money off of these things. You haven't been making any money off of these things for years. Oh no, someone downloaded the ISO to Metroid Prime. Now Nintendo's stocks are plummeting. Please, won't somebody think of the multi-billion-dollar corporation? But Evan, it's their IPs. They're just protecting them. They have every right to do whatever they want with them. I'm sorry, sir. Do you want fries with that boot you're licking? There's not much else I can say without sounding whiny. Well, whinier than I already sound. Yeah, I still have my Switch, but again, I rarely, if ever, buy new games for it. I'll still keep up with Nintendo news so I can stay in the loop, but I don't see myself getting super excited for any of their games in the future. I don't think Nintendo should have to be at a low point to make phenomenal games again. They should be doing that regardless of how well they're doing. We criticize other companies for similar tactics, but once Nintendo starts doing it, it's the same old tune. It's not as bad as other companies. Why are you complaining? Get over it. That's not a real complaint. Bro, free updates, bro. Imagine getting mad at that. I'm tired of it all.